All right, this show is taking a turn for the. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Monster Bass Live. I'm really excited to be back here. It's been a few weeks. I've missed you guys. It feels like the entire month of July has been a challenge for me, and that I'm being tested in ways that I never imagined that I would. And it's like one after the other. But hey, we're back, and we got a great show for you. Despite what the thumbnail said and showed, I'm going to be joined by Cupcake Coley and Matt Brown. And we're going to talk a little bit about ICAST. Now, I know it blew up Matt's head a little bit that we showed Mike Iaconelli because he thinks he's better than Mike Iaconelli. And in theory, he probably is just as good. But we'll never know because he doesn't post on social media enough. But that being said, we got a great show for you. We're going to talk about our experience at ICAST. We had a great time, and I'm excited to share that with you. But before I do, back to my struggles this month. That's been a challenge. First thing I want to do is a big shout out to Gramps and his family for a speedy recovery. I chatted with him briefly, and I'm like, all right, can I send you some meals? What can I do? And he's like, bro, this is my first day on solids and liquids. I'm like, okay. I'm like, you just let me know if you need anything, because I know the entire Monster Bass community cares about his recovery, and we're wishing him a speedy one. And I know if he needs anything, he'll let us know. So, Gramps, if you're out there, we love you, and we're praying for you. Now, I don't know how many of you guys out there have battled with depression or addiction. I haven't. But, I went to visit my mom back at the beginning of July. And I went to visit my mom, and I saw my brother. And, man, I got to tell you, my brother's very different than me. And he's battled it most of his life. And it took it to a whole new level when I went to visit. And it's really hard when you can't support someone that's unsupportable, because it's just, you can't. But to have to watch it and to have to watch my mother go through, it's really hard. It makes it really hard just to do my job, because, like, all I'm thinking about is my 80-year-old mom, and she's having to deal with all this stuff. And then I got back from that. I stayed longer than I wanted to, and that's why I missed the first live on like the 5th. I had to stay longer. And then we get ready for ICAST, which was great. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit. And then I get home, and now I'm dealing with the exact same thing with another friend. And man, life's tough. And I just want to put it out there that, like, all it takes is you raising your hand and asking for help. So if anyone out there struggles with depression or needs help, I want to let you know right now, all you got to do is raise your hand, and someone will help you. Whether that's me or I find you the help that you want. It's in my DNA to help people. And I hate watching people struggle. And it's been really hard to watch my brother struggle. And now it's really hard to watch this person struggle, this other person that I'm going to be with later on to help. And so I just want to put that out there. Life's not easy. And if you need help, raise your hand and I'll help you. Enough about me. Thank you guys for giving me 2 seconds to to just like verbal diarrhea on you. I love you guys, and I'm grateful that we're all here. All right. We're going to have some golden tickets. We're going to talk a little bit about all the fun stuff that happened at ICAST. And before I bring on our guests, I want to give a special thank you to the kind team over at Army Bass Anglers who let us stay at their house. I'm very grateful, appreciative, and I feel like I've learned more about military operations and what it's like to live in Iraq and Afghanistan and to herd goats. In an entirely new way, because I got to tell you, you get a bunch of guys from the military together, and that's all they talk about. And I'm sitting there shaking my head, and like, oh yeah. You know, where I've got my nonsense classified G14 clearance. That's about all I got. These guys are going on and on and on. And I was like, I picked the wrong trade show to show up and not drink at, because I could have drank my face off, because these guys just, they don't stop. God bless them. God bless them. They made the ultimate sacrifice that I'll never make. But man, oh man, the stories that they can tell. But enough about that. Let's bring on our guests. So our guests today are Coley Mack and Matt Brown. Let's give a big warm welcome to these two. What's going on, guys? What's up?
Howdy, howdy.
Hi.
Hi.
You made me blush because you mentioned the goats, and I had PTSD flashback. So thank you for that, Rick.
Yeah, you're very welcome. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm, you know, maybe that story will get told today. I don't know. It depends who's watching. Probably we actually can't tell that story.
I probably would say you probably shouldn't. I'm sure enough
should.
people know and they can figure it out.
Yeah.
But I was super grateful to Army Bass Anglers. I got to know them, and wow, thanks you guys so much. Yeah, you were overly accommodating and allowing me to stay there as well, and I really, really appreciated it. They were a lot of fun.
They were great guys. It was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. What was the most fun about it, Matt?
Well, you can't put a bunch of guys around a table outside and have them all have the experiences we had and not have some pretty entertaining stories come about. You know what I mean? It's one of those you never have a dull moment and never know what's coming next. So it was pretty fun.
That's funny because I had a dull moment.
I guess you had to have experienced one of those in your lifetime. I mean, when you've been there and you've seen stuff like that, you're like, oh my gosh, your brain just can't ever get off of it.
Like all your stories were going over my head there, talking about the jump. They're talking about, you know, all these different things you had to go through and find the rubber band. And if you didn't find the rubber band, it went back and all the mental torture. And
Jump Master School. Oh yeah. So just all the little things where they try to catch you and sneak up on you. And honestly, it creates a great story later on in life, because never ever is somebody that intent on making you fail at something to make you better at something.
Right.
You know, they're going to try to be as sneaky as they can. And you end up having some pretty unique opportunities to experience life when you have stuff like that.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. All right. So we went to ICAST. Matt, was this your second ICAST?
Second ICAST.
And second for you, Coley?
Yes.
Okay. What was your, tell me about your experience. You know, you go your first time and now you're back, so you kind of know what to expect. Take me through your week.
Go ahead, Matt.
You're holding the door for him?
I'm holding the door for it, Rick, okay. I swear. Yeah,
I got shows at 7 and 11. I can do this all day.
Mm-hmm. Look how red my face is.
Yeah. Go ahead, Matt. Tell us about your week.
Yeah, I mean, ICAST this year was definitely different than last year's, just in the fact that it felt more, I don't know. what's the way to put this? It was a lot more of an intimate setting because it wasn't so overwhelming with as many, YouTubers or social media guys walking around. So it felt a little light, but at the same time, it was one of those where it gave us the opportunity to really get to talk to more people and experience the show kind of in a different way because we weren't so locked into the booth, just standing right there in front. We got to, experience the Costa booth and all the guys having a dance party every day after the ICAST settled down and we started happy hour, and that kind of stuff. So a lot more mingling opportunities and getting to actually spend time with some of the people that were out there was a really biggest part of my experience this year.
How about you?
Agree. I feel like it was the first day that we were there, Rick, we kind of all felt like there was less people there and it wasn't quite as busy. And then later that night, I went to the Lady Anglers dinner that I was invited to. And one of the gals there was involved with the logistics of the show. And she said that actually it was exactly the same amount of people, but they were hearing that there were more connections and more deals that were made on that first day. And going back to last year, we registered, I think, a little bit late. So we were like in the furthest corner in Antarctica where you froze to death. And this time, oh my gosh, you got us such an amazing front and center booth, like Matt said, right across from Costa, right by GSM. We were right in front of or behind, depending on where you were, Rapala. So we got to see a lot more. And I feel like there were a lot more conversations that were had and a lot of people that maybe were just walking by going somewhere else and saw us and were like, hey, whereas last year, I feel like, Matt, you can let me know what you think. I feel like people found us, on the second to last day or the last day because they were walking the whole show. But this time they were finding us, right away and repeat visitors coming by. So I felt a little bit more like more stuff was able to happen and more mingling, like Matt said as well.
Yeah. I think for me, like I did get some numbers and there were about 150 less vendors there this year than last year. There were some noticeable absences, like Olive Pure Fishing. So Abu, Berkeley, all their brands, they didn't show up. 6 Cents wasn't there. There were a lot of independent brands and there was noticeably very few European brands that were there. I didn't see a single Guggen t-shirt.
That's true.
Which I'm not knocking on them, but it was definitely lighter on the influencers. And later on Friday, I spent a fair bit of time with Daniel, the president of Z-Man. And, he sits on the board of ASA, and they said they made a concerted effort to limit the number of influencers that showed up because at the end of the day, the vendors were complaining that just the sheer number of people that were showing up for the booths to like film stuff. Well, it's a positive. It's a B2B show, and they were never getting the conversations with the buyers that they wanted because they were constantly inundated by people with GoPros. And so they did limit the number of people that, or attempt to, that were there. I definitely feel like, booth size, like when you looked at the booths, brands that would normally have a 100 by 100 booth would have a 40 by 40. So I think they cut down a lot. Our location was killer. Definitely like right off the main aisle, right in front of Costa, and that's always the center of the show. So we were right there. I thought it was great. Yeah, it was really good. It was really good. Did you guys see products that stood out, or what did you guys see, Coley? What did you see that you were like, oh, this is really interesting?
So I have a little list. Don't make fun of me, but I knew I wouldn't remember. Big Bites is coming out with a biodegradable soft plastic, which I was very interested in, being that I'm a tree hugger. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. Yamamoto Baits had an entire line of what they're calling fuzzy. So it's like the dice, but they did it in every single bait you could possibly imagine. But the one that caught my eye the most, because everyone had some kind of dice creature, like literally everyone was doing it. The one that caught my eye the most is, if you're familiar with their fat Ica, It's kind of like a craw. They took a little piece this big, and then they had the threads that went all the way through it. So I really enjoyed that one. And then their dice that they did, I really liked because it was more of like a cush ball, if anybody remembers having that as a kid. So instead of having the skirt threads like pushed through it, it was actually molded. So the entire thing was one piece instead of having the pieces. I fished with some dice today, and the little threads were coming off. So I thought that was really good. Something that was super interesting that I wish I had gotten more information on was KGB, whose Pro is now manufacturing them. It's their 3 swim baits, and they're all connected together. So you can, there's 2 different line ties, and you can swim it in different ways, like a fleeing fish or a bait ball. And the swim baits were resin swim baits about this big. And there was like one, and then one stuck out, and then one on the bottom. So I'm just getting into throwing some of the larger baits. So that one to me kind of stood out as something different. I didn't see anybody else like that. As far as the baits go, those were the main ones that really stuck out to me as far as being a little bit different than what I saw. And then there was other areas that stuck out to me as well. But Matt, what did you see?
I mean, honestly, there was, as far as like innovation and like blow my mind on something brand new, the Spro was about the only thing that did a new, unique take on something. I mean, I've never seen somebody stack 3, 2 segmented swim bait bodies on top of each other. It's something I've definitely got to see how it runs.
They're like 4 inches, right, Matt? Wouldn't you say?
I was going to say closer to 6 or maybe even 7.
Okay.
I mean, they were full size swim baits, just stacked on top of each other. And I don't know if they pivot individually or how they work, but I mean, it definitely looked unique. Everything else seemed like a new size variation or maybe some new colors or just kind of a slight take difference on stuff. But it was those, and then a lot of like the marine electronics had come a long way. So I went over to the Garmin booth and the Lowrance booth, and I'm a nerd with the boat, so trolling motors are huge. And I don't know if you guys have seen the Lowrance, the new one. They updated a lot of stuff this year, and their pan was so much smoother and so much quieter than it had been. That was always my big reason of why I fished, Garmin stuff for years, was it was just a little smoother on its pan for live scope, and it was quiet. Was the Garmin, and the Lowrance just had a little more motion and kind of was a little jerkier for a while. And this year they really smoothed that out, and their deployability got a lot better. So, I mean, some new stuff, jack plates, stuff like that were cool for boats. That was more of the bigger, like, eye-catching thing this year for me. Just kind of some marine electronics and better ways to do a couple things. But I mean, bait-wise, it almost underwhelming this year, because I was a little disappointed to see everybody's variation of one type of bait. I was hoping there was going to be a few more, unique adds to the market for ICAST. But always cool to see something cool. Like I think Yak Attack came out with a trolling motor. I think there was Garmin came out with a kayak trolling motor. A lot of stuff like that where it was kayak oriented or a lot more of the electronics. The bigger ticket items seem like the big new things this year.
Let me interrupt you guys for a minute. Gramps is in the chat. So Gramps, I just want to say hi.
Hi, Gramps.
We hope that you're covering well, and
yes,
we're sending you nothing but love and lots of positive energy, and hope that you recover quickly. So nice to see you. Sorry.
In his post, he talked about how he's been walking and physical therapy, and it sounds like he's actually ahead of the game on that. So I've been keeping him in my prayers and trying to keep up with how he's doing. So it was awesome to see his name pop up. Hey, Monster Bass fam. Yeah. What I was going to say on Yak Attack trolling motor that was really unique is they actually had designed that for the Hobie kayak, but it fits in perfectly in a lot of them, and it goes right in the pedal drive. So instead of having the trolling motor up at the top where you have to like pull it in and do all that, you would actually replace your pedal drive system, and it fits right in there. I know with the Vibe kayaks, they had a little modular system that went in, and then the trolling motor went in on top of that. And the speed on it, I think it goes up to 7 miles an hour, I think is what I wrote down.
It was like
And
6.5 or 7 miles an hour is what they
yeah,
were
it goes
getting during
7 miles
the
an hour,
test.
and it's jet propelled. So that's gonna be kind of a game changer for people. I personally like to have both the pedal and the trolling motor, just because I need it for the exercise, and I don't think I could just sit there for 12 hours straight. But I talked to them about it, and they said that I would be able to just take the pedals and like prop them up, and then be able to drop the motor back in whenever I wanted to use it. So I thought that was going to be really, really interesting to see how that plays out. They had a lot of really great stuff. Like, honestly, I'd say Yak Attack probably had the most things that I was excited for, being that I don't have my own kayak and I'm fishing off of friends without a trolling motor or spot lock. I was looking at getting an anchor, and they actually have a drop shot anchor system, and it
Oh
just
yeah.
clamps on, and you just like turn this little wheelie, and it has a ball about this big, and it just drops it straight to the bottom, and then you can just retrieve it really easy. So that's going to be a lot easier if I get something like that than trying to hoist up, you know, a 5-pound anchor full of crap every time. So I'm really excited about that as well.
Yes. Now you guys mentioned the Spro KBG. Now the Chad Shad is 180 millimeters, and they came out with the KGB little guy, and that one's 120 millimeters. Now I don't know if that one is also resin or if it's ABS, but like that, the single one carries a price tag of $54.99. And the 3 version was like, I can't remember what it is, $129, $139. I mean, that's a lot of money for a single bait. I will say that it was pretty interesting, but man, that price tag.
Right.
Those Swimbait guys, I mean, if you're buying Buka brand, you know, one of his resins, I mean, you're spending $160 on one of those, and that's just a single one. Ask me how I know, because I bought one at the PCS show, even though I don't have a rod for it yet, because I just was so excited. But those are $160 baits, you know, and that's just one 6-inch trick shad, I think they're calling it. So, you know, if you're getting 3 and you're getting the different line ties, and I don't, Matt, maybe you can help me out on this. The different line ties on it, the way it was explained is you can swim it like they're fleeing fish, or you can swim it like a bait ball. So Matt, I don't know if you have any take on what that would look like, or how that plays in the way that it works.
So it looked like it tied to the top one, so that it had 3 swim baits kind of offset, and it had a line tie on one and a line tie on the middle one. Imagine if you pulled the middle one, it's going to swim more as a bait ball, stay more as a group, and pulling on the top one is going to give it that erratic, kind of all over the place, fleeing, group of fish. I don't know. I mean, again, Rick, we talked about the $120 price point. That's kind of my deal with a lot of these, bigger swim bait brands, and I have a few of them that are absorbently priced myself, because you end up with 1 or 2 for some reason. And for me, it's like I feel like there's,
for that price tag, you better have it for a damn good reason.
Well, because it's the one that catches fish on where I'm going is why I have it. But but at the same time, it's definitely, for guys that are getting into swim baits, that is probably the scariest thing, is that initial price point. Is, hey, I'm going to drop $120. I don't have the gear set up. I don't have, I'm not throwing 30 or 40 pound mono on a 300, 8 1-to-1 reel on an 8.4 super heavy rod. And not having the right setup on those is really, it makes you lose confidence. You don't want to lose the bait. And so you end up buying a huge bait like that and not throwing it. I don't know. I almost wish that we could figure out a way to do something like that was a little more entry level for it. You know what I mean? Because even like those $40 or $50 baits
for cost effective.
Cost effective. There we go. Cost effective.
So you would like to see like an ABS swim bait that's cost effective?
That's cost effective and that
For
catches
beginners,
fish.
right?
Yeah,
You're saying for people
one
to
that
get into it, so they're not spending $150 and then losing it because they don't know what they're doing yet. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, and you can make it in that 6.5 inch or 6 inch profile. I don't know. That's kind of one that I've been playing around with in my head because you have even the like 6 cents makes it ABS one, and even that one tops out at $45 or something like that. So I don't know. Just kind of thinking baits, and when we were down there, I was going, I really like that, but how do we make that
I
something
guess,
that somebody's going to get excited about and really be able to afford and
I guess if
fish?
you're, depending on where you're fishing, I mean, Rick, you and I are from Southern California, and swim baits are huge here. I mean, most of the guys that I fish with are big swim bait guys. It's just that's what they like. And being new to that whole scene, I obviously I haven't, I threw it once because my buddy let me borrow a rod, just tested it out. And I was terrified because I don't make a ton of money to be spending that kind of money on one lure. And I was
Right.
terrified, but I wanted to see how it swam. I mean, is it, in doing the three, is it wrong to almost compare it to like throwing an A-rig? Like you're throwing an A-rig to get that bait ball effect, right? To get those fish to chase that little tiny bait ball. Like, why wouldn't the three stacked be a bigger bait ball that they're following? Like, wouldn't it be the same type of idea or no?
And see, at the same time, you mentioned that, and so I don't know how tournaments will see that bait as well. So, like a lot of tournaments, you're not allowed to throw an A-rig, or even some states have specific to where you can only have, so many hooks or so many spinners, or so, what's to say that that's not, a suspending multiple baits and multiple hooks from one tie point.
Yeah, but
I don't know. I
I'm
mean,
not.
it's cool. I don't know how the market's going to take it and what's all going to shake out with that one, but that was definitely one that was worth talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw a number of things. Like, when I think about ICAST and the baits and the products that I saw, it was definitely the year of the fuzzy dice or the fuzzy baits, whatever you want to call it. Which, interesting enough, isn't new because Tight Lines UV has been doing this for years. They've been threading skirt material into their soft plastics for years. And maybe it's because it's gimmicky because it's UV, but it for whatever reason, it didn't catch on. And we all know that's a lot to do with marketing. But I thought that it was interesting that how many people came out with them and how many people still are going to come out with them, because you have to almost just to cover that category. It was also the year of the strolling minnow that rolls. It seems like everybody came out with one of those. The biodegradable soft plastic from BioBait's really interesting because it's really just the formula that BioBait, the company BioBait, came out with. They got an investment of capital from Johnny Morris's Bass Pro Shops fund to try and make it fully biodegradable. It's not fully biodegradable. They can't say that it is. If they do, it's 100% a lie. It'll degrade, because I reviewed it. It'll degrade over time, which is better than most soft plastics that Matt likes to throw into the water. But it's not fully biodegradable yet. But I do think it is the future. If you can get the action down right, it's like, why wouldn't you buy something that's good for our waters?
Right.
Rick Bradley clearly is showing that he doesn't know much about anything. But
Like his comment, I love guys. I think he means I love you guys. I'm assuming is what he's trying to say.
I think he meant you.
Who? Matt? He says that Matt's a stud. Matt is a stud.
But he hearts guys. So
I mean,
well, hold on, it's better than goats. So one of the other things that I saw that I thought was,
now I'm red.
ICAST loves to put out game changers, and I didn't see much in the way of game changers. I saw a lot of new sizes. I saw like Megabass put out they put in a weight transfer system into a bait that's like 8 years old and called it new. And there was a lot of new sizes and things like that. One of the things I thought was truly innovating was there was a Swedish company that has a bait caster.
Oh yeah.
That you can literally and you don't have to put your thumb on it. no backlash, nothing. And I saw that and I was like, wait a minute. And he's like, try it. And so I went down with him to the casting pond.
Yep.
And you take this bait caster, you just chuck it. Now it's a little chunky. You know,
It's a 300 reel is what they had you on. So it was definitely a bigger reel than we all were used to.
But man, I got to tell you, a bait caster that doesn't, it'll be interesting. I'm sure it'll be Cast King that'll come out with it first. They'll find a way to reverse engineer it.
Oh, no, they have something similar. So all the ones that you have to charge up, that's what there's what they're supposed to do though, is be able to like automatically sense spool speed so that way you don't backlash.
Yeah. The other thing I thought was really interesting is like we love to knock China and call them cheap Chinese knockoffs. And I went around to a lot. I stopped at a lot of the booths where, you know, it was clearly a Chinese company. And they would pull out their portfolio of baits that they make and literally like, here's
brand after brand.
Like every brand that was sitting there at ICAST, they make the baits. And when I tell you the prices for what they make it for and then what they get marked up to, I was like losing my mind. I was like, wait a minute, you can make this pack of soft plastics, this exact pack of soft plastics for me for 70 cents. And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, and they're like, if you find, and then they all said the same thing. Like, if you find something that you like, send it to us. We'll do the 3D drawings. We'll mark it up. And then you tell us how you want to change it. And I was like, so I gave him a 3D drawing of one of the baits that we're going to make for grande bass. And he goes, oh yeah, we can make that too. And I said, I want it in clamshells. I want this, I want that. And if I do this with you, you know, I want color samples. I want to test out the salt concentration, the softness of the plastisol. He's like, whatever you want. He goes, and he's like, I won't even charge you to make the mold. I'll do it in 70 cents a pack. And I was thinking to myself,
that's incredible. That's
insane because 70 cents, like,
well, the mold's 10 grand.
No.
For a production mold? I mean, I don't know, 6, depending on what you're making.
Bro,
but
that's what you're. So let's put it into perspective. If I make a mold in the United States, yeah, 5 to 12 grand probably. You can make a mold over there for $1,200, and that's at the high end. And they won't charge you to make the mold. So you could literally. So I was like, well, I'm not gonna like let them make like grande bass rattlesnakes. I would never let them touch those things. Like, but I was like, if I wanted to make this, could you do it? And they were like, yeah, 100%. I was like, damn, it's so insane. And even things like, you know, like the tackle boxes, the vaults that we make, because we're going to come out with we've got a 36 and a 3700. We're coming out with a deep. We're coming out with a crankbait box, a spinnerbait box, a bladed jig box. I'm over there looking at them because they've already sent me the samples. So we're going to have all those different boxes. And I'm looking at Plano selling them on Tackle Warehouse for like $50. And I'm like, I can sell these things for $22 and 25, 20, you know, I don't know what the tariffs are going to be at the time, but like you can sell them for half and still make good profit. I mean, they're not cheap to make, but man, oh man, the
markup.
Yeah. And then I go visit the guys in the States because I met someone because there's a group that makes tungsten out of the U.S. There's only one. I told him what I wanted to make, and he's going to get back to me with pricing because I told him, like, look, if I can make it all in the United States, morally that feels right to me. But I also can't make it if the cost is 4 times the amount.
Right.
It's silly. So then I asked him, I'm like, so how do these, like, this company's Japanese? He's like, yeah. He goes, so we manufacture everything, but we don't put the hooks on it and we don't put them in the packages. They ship the packages, the hooks, and the baits over to Japan, and they just put the hooks on, package them up, and that's enough to say it's made in Japan.
Wow.
And then they can charge like top dollar. And I was like, wait a minute, you do this? And I'm like, they're like, yeah. I'm like, so what brands do you work with? And it's like every JDM brand that we all love does this. It was insane.
That is crazy. I just started buying some of that stuff too, just to play around with it a little bit, and it is expensive. And
Well, yeah, like 24, $25 for a a crankbait.
Yeah.
I haven't done the cranks. I'm talking about some of the soft plastics. I've just kind of been playing around with creatures. Rick, I'm getting out of my drop shot habit and trying to explore different things. So I've been looking at some of the little different creature baits and stuff, and it does get a little bit expensive, especially to Matt's point earlier, like when you're new and you're trying stuff out, and it's like, wow, that's $15 for 4 of these, or $20
Right.
for 5 of these, and one hit and it's gone. You're like, oh,
Yeah, better hope it catches some fish. That's an expensive bait per
yeah.
fish.
Yeah. But if it works, I mean, I'm down. The guys at the pond are throwing different stuff, so I like to see what they're throwing, and I like to test it out myself and just see what works. But so far, my little baby rattlesnake has been the winner for me. Whether it's drop shot or on a wacky, it's been still working really good. So I'm trying to step away and use different applications.
Yeah. Well, Gramps said you should use the free rig.
I do. That's what I caught the PD on, Gramps. I caught it was on a G Crack free rig, and it was on the 5/0. I can't say the name right, Rick, but it's one of your hooks from the Monster Bass box, HAIIG or HIIAG. They're red 5/0 hooks. I saw them at ICAST. I just can't pronounce
I think
the
they're in
name.
the Delachi family of brands.
Oh, Daiichi.
The Daiichi.
Yeah. That one.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was with a D. That one. That's what I caught it on, Gramps, and I'm loving the free rig. I've been playing around with it with lizards, which I've never thrown before. Little baby brush hogs. I tried the big brush hog, but they didn't want it. Little baby brush hog. The G Crack, and I did it on the Crush Craws from Grande Bass. So free rig has been a lot of fun for me in the last couple of months for sure. And then you had also mentioned, Gramps, that the lunker sticks are worth more than what they charge. And I 100% agree. I'm actually waiting for the new, maybe I'm not supposed to say it, but waiting for the new line of lunker sticks to come out because I need to get a heavier rod. And that's what I want to use for swim baits and top water. So to James Anthony's point, no, I don't need a rod for every single application, but I would like an arsenal just so I can keep up with the boys and I don't know. I want a couple more rods, but they will be lunker sticks or doomsday.
Well, I will promise that you'll have an arsenal when they become available. I just sent the hang tag to the design for the BFS rods, so those are going to ship any day.
Oh, I'm
sweet.
I'm really sorry that they've taken so long, but evidently Fuji components are on a 6-month back order. Let's talk about some of the conversations you guys had with people. Like, did you meet anyone that was like I know that like Steve Harvey was there and you guys were on a mission to wander around and find Steve Harvey, but like whether it was him or someone else, did you guys have any really great conversations with anyone?
I really enjoyed, and I'll wait till Matt comes back. I really enjoyed meeting Mike Iaconelli because if anyone's watched any of my reels, I get a little excited whether I catch a 1-pounder or that 8.93 pounder that I just caught. So it was neat for me to be able to meet him. Yes, I know he's a little over the top, but I enjoyed him. His family was really, really sweet. Brent Ayler, I didn't realize Rick is from Redlands, and that's not far. That's an hour from me. I don't know how far it is from you. And interestingly enough, I'm Seventh-day Adventist, and Redlands is known for being a Seventh-day Adventist community. And long story short, he is one as well. So that was really cool for me. And then his aunt actually taught dentistry at Loma Linda University, where my dad, my brother, and my uncle graduated from. So for me, that was kind of cool to have someone who's so high up in the fishing community and to have that kind of one-on-one conversation. That was really neat. But hands down, probably the ladies that I met. I mean, I think I introduced you, Rick, to the one gal who was probably 5'1" and weighed 105 pounds and caught a 150-pound tarpon and handled it like a boss. She's a captain out there. And there was just a lot of the ladies that I didn't know, but because of the dinner, I was able to meet. and to kind of be around a group of women. As most of you know, women can tend to be a little bit catty and not always the most supportive, but in this fishing community, I have not found that. Everyone has been so uplifting and so encouraging and so inspirational. Bait Barbie, Kylie took me fishing pretty much as soon as I landed, and I caught a couple. So for me, it was getting those one-on-one connections with the ladies and a couple of the pros, and even meeting some new kayak friends, which is really beneficial for me because I want to grow. I want to get on one. I want to get my own. That's still in the books. I unfortunately had to get a new car instead of a new kayak this year, but it's still something that I'm determined to do. So that's kind of what stood out to me is how welcoming people were, and people that stopped by the booth to say hi and introduce themselves. Matt, your gal Margot, was amazing. She came back
Oh,
on
she's so
Friday.
sweet.
She
Who's Margo?
Margot was the gal that came back on Friday, and she had the wheelchair, but she had
Oh my God.
She's
She would
amazing.
Love
not-
her.
She would not. So this woman shows up at my booth and she's like, Mr. Rick, she goes, I have to tell you how much I love your baits. And I told Matt I was going to come back and clean him out. I was like, well, you can have some. And she's like, no, I will not take them for free. And I said, well, help yourself. And so she proceeds to go, and she must have picked out like 30 packs of baits or something. And I'm like, she goes, now these are like $6 a bag, right? And I'm like, at retail, yeah. She goes, all right. And she starts counting her money. And I'm like, I'm not taking your retail. Like, you're buying like 60 packs from me. I'm like, anyone who wants to buy 60 packs, I'll hook you up. Especially at a trade show where I'm like, I don't want to take them home. I want to,
Right.
He's mad at me because, I didn't give them to him. But, but she was the nicest lady. And then when she left, I was like, I found all the grubs underneath, and I was like, so I ended up wandering the show trying to find her. I couldn't find her. I was like, here, I was going to give them to her, but I couldn't.
Oh, she would have loved that.
Mm-hmm.
She has a lot
She's
of
so
friends
sweet.
that are pretty big influencers as well, that she worked with, and she had told me that she held up like 6 bags, and she's like, I'm talking to a lot of people about these baits. And I was just happy and thrilled that she was so excited and liked the product so much. But then when I got home, I saw a post. Several of her friends are people that I'm friends with as well, and I'm excited to see them get a hold of the Grande Bass baits and see what they can do with them too. So she wasn't lying about that. She definitely has some friends that are large into fishing. So she just was awesome. And Matt, I'm so glad you told me about her, and look out for her.
So
She's going to
sweet.
come back and she's going to try to give you money. And then I had to leave for a little bit. And I told Rick, I'm like, there's this lady, she's coming by. She's going to try to give you money. He's like, what are you talking about? And so she was there.
I was like, don't let her pay.
Yeah.
Try to give as many as you can. Don't let her pay anything.
She was really cool.
She's too sweet. She really is.
I took her money, just so you know.
You did not.
No, I swear to
She
God.
argued.
She refused. I think I sold them to her for like, I don't know, like $3 a bag or something.
Oh my God.
I think I tried like $2 and she refused, and
She was stubborn.
but she was great. What about you, Matt? You have any good conversations?
I felt like the whole week was nothing but one big conversation that never stopped. Got to meet with Jason Christie on the flight home, which was pretty cool. I'm an Okie boy and he's an Okie boy, so we flew back into the same airport, and it was like, just hanging out with the Bassmaster Classic champion. That's always fun. And sitting right behind him was James Elam as well. So just like having conversations with guys, and meeting Steve Harvey was pretty much a dream come true. You can't be a little kid at a candy store and meet your hero type thing and not be too excited about it. But with that one, I got to hang out with John Godwin from Duck Dynasty. I don't know if you guys remember him. It was a show we watched as a kid, as a family growing up, and kind of a cool thing. Got to meet him and hang out. He has a crappie line that he does now. So, nothing really super crazy or profound conversation-wise, just a lot of really neat kind of connections and connection points. I got to meet Jay Stryker, which is a he was a 13 Fox, you know, and that's what I was in the Army. So randomly run into another fister, which is a unique opportunity that you don't get very often because there's not very many of us in the Army. So
Mhm.
a lot of fun, lot of conversations we got to have, and got to learn a lot from a few guys that were down there. Got to fish with Rick Bradley, which was so much fun. I mean, I don't know how to fish hydrola coming into it. We don't have it where I'm at, and here we are on the fish and just catching them right and left. So, you know, those type of things were just spectacular this trip. Those one-on-one, those really get to know people, and so I don't know. It was fun. It was unique. It was I got to like wade over at Yak Attack. Got to know him pretty well. He was
Is he
hysterical.
awesome?
He's a good
Kept
dude.
me laughing so hard. You know what I mean? The whole time I was there, I just was on the floor rolling around. You know what I mean? And Kylie was so awesome. We actually sat right across from them, launching our boat on Tuesday morning, you know, and had a really good long conversation with her whole team. And I mean, just the whole industry as a whole. Like that's one thing that's really cool about bass fishing is it doesn't matter if I'm in Florida or California, you know, at the Hall show, we ran into people and had really cool conversations with them, running into people at ICAST that are the same people. And it's a small community and we really get to know each other and really get to kind of experience this industry together, which was a lot of fun.
Mhm. Yeah, there are a lot.
Matt, you and I met Wade last year, Matt, at the ICAST because I had won a hat, and anyways, we became friends. But this year was really, really fun to see him come out a little bit because he normally doesn't stay long at the Line Cutters Angler Fest party, and to be able to get that one-on-one and to hang out even with Rick. All of us just had I personally had a great time at that party, you know, having fun, just letting loose, and it was great. Who did you meet, Rick, that stood out to you?
I had a lot of good conversations. I had a meeting scheduled with Jacob Wheeler and his team, and that was really good. And you know, when you're the Michael Jordan of your sport, it's really interesting to watch how like people just. I don't know how that guy has a conversation in the show because we started out in the booth having a conversation and people just kept coming up like autograph picture. So I stood there with his wife for a long time and she's really funny and we had a really good conversation for about 10 minutes. And finally we went into the back of one of the booths that had like a private meeting room so that we could have our meeting. And we had a really good meeting. We'll see what becomes of it because they'd like to do something. And we'll see if Rapala puts up any roadblocks. So if you're watching Rapala or Rapala, don't put up any roadblocks.
Are you seeing some of the reels that they have done together as a couple?
Oh my God! So
funny.
she was laying
she's
down.
hilarious.
So all of a sudden, in the middle of it, she just laid down right in front of me, and the camera guy's taking a picture. He goes, "You're going to be in this." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "She's been laying down in every booth." And we've like the same pose as if she's dead, and we're gonna make this whole thing out of it. I'm like, oh my God, this is gonna be so funny.
She's really funny.
Yeah. So that was a really good conversation. I had a really great conversation with Daniel from Z-Man. Confirmed a takeover box for next year. Talked a little bit about the baits, you know, because we've done a lot of Z-Man over the years, and so it gets kind of hard, and it's kind of impossible to just fill it with brand new stuff because he's got, you know, their production is so tied to retail fulfillment. So we got to plan like 6 months in advance to do that, but we're going to do a Z-Man takeover. We had a good talk about the industry, and I always appreciate Daniel because he's such a straight shooter, and he always gives me like, I asked him lots of questions around grande bass and how to expand and grow it, and he gave me some good insight on that. That was really good. I had a great conversation. It's always great to catch up with AJ Gore from Cast King because he and I went to our first ICAST together. And so it's, you know, over the years, like he'll text me and like he works for Cast King And yet his son, when he goes to school every year, wears Monster Bass shirts. And so he's always like, I need a coat.
I love it.
Back to school. My kid wants more shirts. I'm like, aren't you going to get in trouble? Like your kid's wearing nothing but my brand. He goes, it's okay. He goes, it's fine. And so it's always good catching up with him. I love seeing him. And then I had a lot of fun conversations with little kids and, that are like just new to the sport. And they're like, they want to get sponsored. And like just setting them like, the one kid was like, I had so many good conversations with little kids about like, all right, here's what I'm going to do. And this is what you need to do. And this is how you're going to get big. And, maybe in 5 years, you'll be working my booth. And that fills me up because I love helping out little kids and helping them to learn and start to see like how they can maneuver themselves in the industry. So that was good. I had a lot of fun at the Bienville booth.
Those guys are great.
Just so you know, this was all at my expense. So Coley takes me over to this booth. Bienville Outdoors is like a resort where you go fishing, and they carry grande bass and whatever. So I go over. She's like, I want to introduce you to these people, and so I go over there, and they're like, here, you want to try this fishing game? And I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. And so she puts on like a black bass.
It's a simulator. It's an actual simulator.
Like, this is fun. This is fun. I'm reeling it in. And I'm like, oh, my God. Like, all right. And then it ends, and she goes, oh, you got a pretty good score. I'm like, wait a minute. There's a score? And, of course, now the competitive nature, my fire comes out. I'm like, I didn't know there was a score. Set me up again. And it turns out that
you got to tell about the backstory to that, though.
About to until I was interrupted. No wonder we only have 42 likes.
Sorry, I tried to like it, but I can't find it.
Okay, I'll give us another.
Will everyone do me a quick favor and like throw some likes up there, because the only reason why they're giving me likes at this point is because Jeremy fishing the Lone Star is answering all the good questions. And thank you, Jeremy, for answering all those questions. But that's the only reason why we're getting likes. It's not because we just got interrupted.
Did he just freeze?
No.
He's smoldering.
I was like, let's take over. He froze.
Yeah, so Caro, look at this, 48 likes. That's insane. All right, so yeah. So there's two guides that work at this resort, and one was using grande bass baits and one wasn't. And they were in a little competition, and the guy started pulling out grande bass baits, and he starts catching all these fish, and he wins the competition. So she's mad at him. And I'm over there like shaking hands with him, like chit-chatting. She's like, I'll get you guys back. So she puts me on like a carp.
I said, just put him on something a little bit harder to give him a little bit more of a workout. I wasn't meaning to like destroy you. I just meant like maybe a bike, something that was a little bit more of a fight.
Yeah, we're over in the cold section. So now I'm like, I got my shirt buttoned up. I got my sleeves rolled down. I'm like, ooh, it's so cold, so cold. Ooh, I fought the bass. So then I start doing this one, and I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, keep cranking. You're almost there. Keep cranking. And it felt like 15 minutes later, and I'm just cranking and cranking. I'm like, all right, this isn't fun. I don't care what score I'm going to get, but now I've got to finish it. So I'm cranking and cranking and cranking. And finally, I reel in this carp, and I'm like, I hate all of you for this. I'm so mad. And
God.
She goes, don't worry about it. She goes, last year, Matt did like a tarpon or something. And they said for 45 minutes, he was soaking wet.
He was.
Trying to reel in this giant fish. I'm like, no, thank you.
The giant trevally is what I was fishing for on that one. And I mean, it was literally a 45-minute fight.
Yeah, that sounds awful on a trade show floor.
Oh, yeah. Well, it was right before the show started. So we got there at like 8 o'clock in the morning. Show starts at 9. I was like, we got some time to kill. I'll go do one of these. And so we did a couple. And next thing I know, she was like, wouldn't try one of the saltwater fish? And I was like, deal. And yeah, for the rest of the time I was there. And by the time the show started, I basically had to go into the bathroom there and towel off because I was just pouring sweat.
Yeah.
Well, look, it was so fun watching you because the whole time, Katie, who's the guy that was going to get Rick back, was cackling like a hen in the background. And the more she cackled, the more she made me laugh. And then Rick starts to get into it, and he goes, "God, I wish I hadn't rolled my sleeves down. It's getting hot in here." And he's super animated, even though he doesn't know that he is. It was 4 minutes and 38 seconds, but
It felt like 15.
She kept telling him, "You're almost there, you're almost there." And he was nowhere near being almost there. And I knew, because I was watching, he's like, "What's going on? This is the worst thing ever. Like, somebody needs to stop it." And he was just so animated that I swear that was probably the highlight of my trip, because I laughed so hard. I snorted in the camera. I got it all on video. I probably should post it, but technically he's my boss, so I probably don't want to do that. But it was hilarious. I did put a little clip in my reel, but it was just, not a bad one, but it was great.
Yeah, Carol, she's got a video, and I don't care if she posts it. I don't care. We can all laugh together. I don't care.
It was amazing. I should put it up on YouTube because it's 4.5 minutes long. But I mean, talk about tickle me all the way to my ribs. Like me and Katie, and I apologize for laughing so hard, but it was really funny.
What other and then probably the last conversation that I thought was really enjoyable was I don't remember her name. Call her Mercedes. She was our Uber driver.
Oh yeah.
And I had her take us to McDonald's one night on the way home, and then the next morning we're running out the door, and Matt's like, "I can't find my wallet," and I'm like, "What do you mean you can't find your wallet?" He's like, "I don't know where it is." And I'm like, "Well, when's the last time you had it?" He goes, "Last night." And I'm like, "Oh, you left it in the goddamn Uber." So we called her back, and she was a lot of fun to talk to. I learned a lot about her kids and daycare and all the things that she was doing. And she picked us up and took us around, and that was great.
She
brought
was
my wallet back, which
fearful.
was awesome. Oh my gosh, I was so worried about that for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
It was like the day before I was supposed to fly home too, and I'm like, I don't even have a driver's license. How am I going to get on an airplane?
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah, because that was I think Thursday, and then Friday morning with the cab with the Uber driver, we came out and Matt had a big old stain on his shirt, so he had to go back in.
He looked homeless.
So you would think that the only girl out of the group would be the one that was like, always making us late, always in the bathroom primping. No, I was the first one out ready to go. I didn't make anybody wait for me for anything. Matt had to go change his shirt. He comes back out literally wearing the exact same sun shirt that Rick has on. And Rick's sitting in the car.
And same short color too. Like we had the exact same outfit on.
So he's all mad. So now he gets out of the car. Matt's like, "What's going on? What's going on?" I'm like, "Y'all are twins." He's like, "What are you talking about?" Like, "I'm out of clothes. That's all I have." So then Rick had to come back and change. And then I think you and I one day wore the same hat, Rick. So you changed hats then, because God forbid matchy. Yeah. But it was so fun.
Yeah,
it was definitely unique.
All right, so what did we learn? What are our takeaways? We're gonna do a stop, start, continue. What are the things we need to stop doing? What are the things we want to start doing? And what are the things that we're doing well and we want to keep doing next year at ICAST? I'll go first. I'm going to keep opening the door, but hopefully not for Matt.
Rick.
What? I told you I've got 2 shows, 7 and 11.
Okay.
What are we
the concept that when you open a door, ladies walk through the door is what we're.
I know. I'm just raising an eyebrow.
I would open the door, Matt would walk through, and literally shut the door behind him. And we'd be like,
I'd be sitting there, and it was like the first day I was like, okay, he doesn't feel well. He didn't get a lot of sleep last night. He didn't sleep well, whatever, right? So he would open the door for me, and before I even had a chance to take a step foot, Matt would jump right in front of me. And I finally said something to Rick. I go, "Dude, is Matt ever going to let me walk through the door?" He goes, "What are you talking about? What do you mean?" So then from day 2 on, it was just this little fun thing that Rick and I had, that every time he'd open the door, and Rick would look at me and I would just smile, and I was like, okay. But it was funny. So to clue you in on our little fun that we were having. Okay, we're stopping that. Which one was that?
what are something we're going to stop doing, something we're going to start doing, and if we're doing it great, we're going to continue doing it. What is it?
We were going to continue the rest of them. I thought you're doing all three, and then
no, you can pick anything.
Oh, okay. I think we need to start more activities or things involving kids, because Rick, I gotta tell you, I've always known that you've been this huge kid at heart, and you love kids, you love your goddaughter to death. But to actually watch you interact with those young kids, and we had Wells, who was probably 11, Matt,
10, 11, something like that.
That one
Yeah,
that
10,
had
11.
the cat and the curls, and then the next kid that came in was probably 11, and then the group of boys that came in, they were probably more like 14-ish.
Yeah.
But to see you compliment them on their jerseys, ask them who they fished for, ask them about tournaments, to tell them this is what you need to do, this is how you need to act, and everything that you do represents the brand that's sponsoring you. And the way you broke it down in a fun, lighthearted manner, and to watch all those kids, especially those 3 that were from the fishing club that the lady brought over, to watch them, it was like they were watching the President of the United States giving a speech. Like, they were so in tune with what you were saying, and you're just so good. I would love personally, since I'm such an advocate of kids getting off the iPad and outdoors, doing anything, but specifically fishing, I would really like to be a part of and see more things geared towards kids, like we do our Monster Bass box. That's the paint your own lure. I think that's fantastic. And if there's anything I can do to support you and to make something happen more along those lines, I would love to be part of that. I think that would be really neat.
Thank you. Which, by the way, that kids create a bait lure fishing kit that we have, somebody else put one out, entered it in the ICAST New Product Showcase, and won Best in Show for new kids fishing product. And I was like, God. And I looked at the kit, and it's just a box with paint, 1 brush, and 2 lure blanks. I'm like, whoa, they didn't even try. There's like no stickers, no little fun book, and no stuff. And I was like, oh my God. I'm like, wow, that gives me something to shoot for next year.
Yeah, I think that would be neat.
I spent the entire trip home on AI designing a Minecraft themed fishing box that was for kids and stuff. So anyway, but I digress. Matt, what are we going to do?
I'm probably going to stay with a stick to it. And that is, this thing we got going right now. It's such a family orientation that we have. Coley can bash me for running through a door in front of her and all that kind of stuff. No, I'm teasing a little bit, but it really is. It's lighthearted. It's fun. We have a good time. It's that we're real. We're not a company or an organization that is, unattainable or some high and mighty type group. We're the people that are approachable, and I think that's really kind of our number one point of leading the competition is really you can reach out to any of us and pretty much get a response instantaneous for the most part. I know Rick gets a lot of text messages, but you know what I mean? It's one of those deals where we're a family and we really support each other, and we really love to see people succeed at what we do.
Yeah. And Matt, you and I have that brother-sister, like little brother, big sister relationship that we proved this trip for sure. But it's true. Like, I mean, I would do anything for you and your family. And last Classic, when there was some stuff going on and you needed a little extra support, like, we were more than willing to be there. And Rick, like, I joke around and I call you dad sometimes, I call you boss sometimes, but like, when it comes down to it, like, you're my friend. Like, I work for you, I work with you, but I enjoy all of it. And you treat us all with such great respect, and getting to meet, the Army Bass Anglers and T-Rex last time, by the way. Yes, T-Rex, we definitely missed you. I saw your comment in the chat a couple of times, but meeting Lone Star at the Classic, just being able to actually meet these people in person, it's like, it is a family unit. And I anybody that needs any help that I can provide, it's just little of me, I don't have much, but if you need someone to listen or talk to, as Rick started off his in the beginning of this live, like, I'm here as well. I don't have much to offer except for a friendship and a kind heart. But I loved spending time with these boys and also the Army Bass Anglers. It was really, really amazing. So thank you, Rick, for everything that you do for us.
You're very welcome. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate both of you. I appreciate the time, the energy, the commitment, the respect and the love for the brand. I can't say enough because we don't have a brand or a booth presence without you guys, and so I'm really grateful that you guys came, and hopefully we'll even have a better booth next year. I think the other thing that I would do differently, I'd like to be a little more prepared. Like, there's no reason why little things like when people enter my name in the ICAST app, like my phone number didn't come up. That was weird. And like, I didn't enter products. I didn't have my products in time so I could enter them in ICAST or even submit them to Bassmaster, because like that new products list is literally, it's pretty much free. All you got to do is send them the products on time. And I wasn't prepared for that. And that's on me.
A catalog, I think. I know that you had one digitally, right? You ended up having one that you were able to send
I'm
to
going to
people.
make business cards with the QR code so they can take it in the catalogs right there, because I'm not printing hundreds of catalogs. It's a waste of money. As much as people might like them, I'd rather give it to them digitally and let them download it from there.
I think that would be awesome. I think that was something that would be helpful. And then we looked at those apps for like all the information. I know that ICAST had an app that you could scan everybody's like little QR code on your name badge. But dude, it was $550 for 2 people to use it per booth. And while it was phenomenal and it gave you an area for their picture, the name of the company, the notes, all that, like that's a lot of money. But it would be nice too, because I know Matt and I got asked a lot, like, hey, do you guys have a card? I don't need a card, but it would be nice to have something that was company related to be able to say, hey, scan this, or here's this, or something for next year if invited to be part of it again. Because that is something that would really go a long ways. I know we are giving out stickers like, oh, here's a sticker, just go to grandebass.com. So I agree with you on that. I think that would be super helpful.
Yeah. And I'd love to get to the point where it's pricey. I mean, it costs, you easily drop $10,000 just to show up at one of these shows. But I'd love to get to the point where we could have like one booth for outdoor playground and have Monster Bass and Grande Bass, First Contact, all that stuff sitting there, because I think it'd show really well.
Absolutely.
But again, the challenge is always, you look at some of those booths and they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to ship the stuff and set it up, because Freeman and the union workers, you got to pay for this, and anything you do costs that. And it's like, I bought my stuff on Amazon and I gave it to Rick Bradley. He picked it up. Thank you for picking it up. And
he's such a nice guy.
He is.
And Chaplain Cap said, I think this is the best family in the business. And I have to second that and agree. Like, I've been a part of several different families and they've all been really good. But for some reason, this one is just so broad and so loving and so open. And every time I get a chance to meet someone in person, like T-Rex and some of the guys, Gramps, I got to meet last Classic, just y'all, like, it's been really, really wonderful. And I know that if I need a shoulder to cry on, or if I need to yell at somebody, Matt, I know I can always call you and yell at you. You take it pretty well. So thank you to everyone. And that's pretty cool that Chaplain Cap said that.
Yeah. And speaking of Chaplain Cap, we are going to be scheduling the tattoo night where he will be getting a tattoo live on Monster Bass Live, which I'm very excited for. I might actually have to
join him.
No, I don't. I don't. I'd be the worst. I would be the worst.
You're not a pain kind of guy.
I don't love giving blood. I would be the worst at doing drugs that required needles. I like seeing blood, seeing people cut open. I'm fine with all that. Like none of that. It's something about the idea of shooting a needle in my arm just feels flat. Like, I don't know. Can't do it. Can't do it. So.
I'm reading some of the chat. Cargo, it was awesome meeting you as well. And then Caro, sorry. And then T-Rex says that I can yell at him. That's awesome.
You can yell at who?
T-Rex. He said I could yell at him anytime.
Oh, yeah. He's probably pretty good at that.
Yeah, I imagine T-Rex being capable. He probably is.
I'll just sit there and be like, okay.
He gets fired up with me. Usually when we were mad at the classic about whatever it was, I think it was that that bar that we went to that was just like get us out the music, and it was like everyone was watching us and telling us to be quiet, and it was like so inappropriate for us to even be there. Like we sat on the patio and we just kind of complained to each other, this is BS. Like they're telling us to be quiet. We can't even talk. That was a weird event for sure.
Hold on, Carol. I admit that I've had problems with coughs over the years, but I have not coughed on this episode one time. One time. It's like I'm cured. Or it's just something, again, I don't know what it is, but man, when that cough comes back, you should see the look on my family's face. They're like, all right, you got to go to the doctor. What's wrong with you? And it just happens a couple times a year where I just get it.
Saw that crap they're spraying on us in LA, and they haven't sprayed for like a month. So my cough went away too.
What are you talking about? You're not talking about,
Yeah, I am, but yeah.
Okay. All right. What else do I want to talk about? Do I want to talk about new products? I don't. I feel like that's a whole episode. I do want to let everyone know that I will be here next week. Let me look at the calendar really quick because I'm about to go away. I will be here next week, and then I will be gone for the next 2. Oh, wait. I will be gone for the next 3. Oh, my God.
It's your fancy.
No, so I'm taking all the little scouts to summer camp up in Oregon, the 2nd through the 9th. And then I leave on the 11th through the 22nd for something else. Maybe I need to let you guys run, you guys could run Monster Bass Live, and you guys can have on whoever you want, talk about whatever you want, do whatever you want, except for give away the entire company.
So part of it, though, I can give away part of the company.
No. Give it to me. Give me part of the company, and I'll give you part of the company.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
That would be fun if I'm not working or in San Diego fishing. That would be really fun.
Okay. Funny thing is, I'll be in LA next week, but the week after I won't be.
All right, so Matt, you're coming to LA on Sunday?
Yep. I leave back for Tulsa the day you take the scouts.
Okay. Do you need to stay at my house while you're gone? Or they hook you up?
Nah, we got a place to stay, but it's just more of a, if I'm going to be there, I got to say hi, you know what I mean?
I suppose.
It's 1,100 miles. I don't get to take that trip all the time.
Yeah, but I just saw you. Do I need to see you again?
I know. We've seen each other a bunch.
And you're going to be with one of your Army buddies, so I got to hear more Army stories. Oh, I remember when we were playing Cowboys and Indians, and I was shooting all guys.
And then there was the goat.
And then there was the goat.
Or sheep, or any sort of livestock herding.
I just want to quickly ask, well, we've got 77 people on here. Are there any children in the audience? And if so, could a parent or the children please just let me know so that I can decide what kind of story I want to tell?
Oh, Lord. Well, you made me blush a few times on this trip. So, I mean, there were sandwiches involved and all sorts of stuff. I died more than once.
Wait a minute,
I don't remember the blushing of sandwiches. Was I there?
You were sitting right next to me. I pulled my hoodie over my head and hid it.
I think that I'm gonna use my better judgment and not tell this story right now.
But nobody chimed in that there was kids, so it says
I don't know.
Could watch it later.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that I'm going to use some discretion here, and not
well,
tell.
I don't know what you're gonna tell. Are you gonna tell the goat story? Is that what you're talking about?
Just one of the Army stories that I heard.
It couldn't look away. That story.
Looking for lunkers. Listen. Yes, I can't believe Ozzy died.
Oh man.
You know, he just had his farewell concert. I thought that the interview, the exchange between Youngblood and Ozzy was really special. If you don't know Youngblood, listen to him. He's amazing. He's a 27-year-old kid, and if you go on Spotify, there's a song called "Changes" that he did live at the Ozzy concert. It's insane, and Ozzy told him that he's got the #1 record in the UK, and he said, you're amazing, and your job is to now go and conquer America, just like all the other great bands that the UK have done when they've come over. And I thought that was, Ozzy's words to him were really inspiring and really heartfelt. Obviously, that guy did a lot for music, and he's going to be missed, but he's obviously in a better place because I can't imagine living the way that he had to be at the end. And it's pretty rough. Also, like Malcolm Jamal Warner.
Oh yeah.
Huxtable passed away, drowned in the water down in Costa Rica.
Accidental drowning. Yeah, that really
crazy.
shocked me.
And I think the message is really clear that, there is no guarantee of anything. And when you wake up every morning, you're winning. And I think when you start your day buying into the belief that you woke up and so you're winning, and you make your bed. I tell my friends this all the time. First thing I do is I make my bed because I've accomplished something and it gets me started on the right path. And I think you start to put that into practice, and you start to believe that, you're fortunate. You're fortunate no matter whether you live in a small house, a big house, have a good job, bad job, whatever it is, whatever is going on in your life, you're waking up. So that's a good day. So I take a lot of comfort in being grateful every day that I wake up, because one day I won't. Ozzy won't. Ozzy's not waking up again. So
that's in my morning prayer as I say, thank you for waking me up today. Because like you said, one day you're not gonna. And going through, recently lost a friend a couple weeks ago, and helping my best friend deal with that because it was actually her cousin, but I grew up with her. It has been, eye-opening. I actually wrote down, I'm not going to say it was a will, but I have animals and they're not necessarily exotic, but they're not something that you could just give to anyone. So I actually wrote that out last night, and it kind of got to me a little bit because I was like, well, the ducks go here, and 74-year-old tortoise goes here, and this is what they have to eat. The cat goes there. And it was kind of like, wow, someone's going to find this and be like, oh, great. At least she had enough, planned for that. So, so we're all grateful to wake up in the morning and cherish each day and live it to the fullest, the best that you can every day.
So what restaurants did you pick?
I'm gonna,
Well, I think she's sending them to me, and I'm going to do pastrami.
Ouch. Okay. All right. Well, listen, guys, I'm going to let you guys go and get back to your day, your ducks.
I'm going fishing. Thank you very much. Again, I already went once today.
I actually am too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, giddy up, and hope you catch something. Coley, if you get a chance, give me a call tomorrow. I've got something to run by you.
Okay.
I have a proposal for you.
Does it come with a ring?
Oh, no.
Good, because I would have said no, because you know me in marriage. So perfect.
Yeah.
Y'all saw my meme, best day of my life, and there's me fishing in the back. It's not a lie. All right, I'll call you tomorrow. Thank you.
Broke a lot of hearts.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Right. All right. Well, that was two very special people, and I'm really grateful to have them in my life. I'm really grateful to have them represent the brands, and we had a lot of fun at the show. Even though we joked around a lot, we had a lot of fun. Thankfully, not at my expense, because my ego bruises easily, as we know. We got like 12 likes, and I'm going to go to therapy right after this. Just kidding. But T-Rex did say it very well. And that's that he wakes up every day, he looks in the mirror and he says, damn, you're a good looking guy, because you have to love yourself before you can truly love anyone else. And that is so true, because you are just a reflection of how you feel inside, and you're going to attract people based upon how you feel about yourself. And if you're struggling, you're going to attract struggle. It's just a fact of life. So it's really good practice to wake up every day and be good with what you see in the mirror. So, all right, I'm done being a life coach today. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to spend the rest of my evening doing this. That's going to be a lot of fun. Anyway, golden tickets, Josh. Let's attract some golden tickets. So, you know how this works. Your boxes come with an individually numbered golden ticket. Now is your time to pull it out. If I call your number, email me at rick@monsterbass.com. One time. Don't email me 10 times. Don't contact support. I'm going to get to it next week. I will ship them all out before I leave for summer camp, and you'll get something from my garage. Now, we have a new sponsor coming on board that's going to, we're going to design some new golden tickets that'll be sponsored by somebody, and you're going to get some really good gifts from them. Instead of just the stuff from my garage, because I feel like Operation Garage Cleanout is in full effect. We've done a good job. So if you've got a golden ticket number, enter it in the chat right now. I'm going to pick a number. I'm going to pick a good number. Oh, Cast of Nasties. How you doing? God, I hope I don't pick someone that's already won. I always feel bad when I end up doing that, because I kind of want to, I kind of want to spread the love. Oof. I really should start keeping track of who's won in the past. This is where I get in trouble. I'm getting a pen. I'll be right back. I'm coming. Okay. Any others? I want to give everyone a chance. Only put it in once. Oh, I also want to let everyone know that anyone that did go through the investment process with me, I just signed the final paperwork Monday. So now they're going to send me the final list, and then I will start to reach out. This is a new process for me too, so I apologize. I've never done this. And evidently you have to wait until every person that said that they wanted to invest either completed the paperwork or went through the period of time to which they can then cancel. So evidently I can't cancel people. I had to wait for the period of time to end. So it canceled. So I signed it. And so we should be good. So I just apologize in advance that, let's see. Wow. There's a big number in there. Gerald Eaton, 85,658. That's okay. Here we go. I've got the numbers. Let's put it on here. Ready? All right, your golden tickets for the night. 28136 and 42906. Congratulations, you guys won the golden tickets. Email me at rick@monsterbass.com. I'll take care of everything. If you wouldn't mind doing me a favor on the way out, hit the thumbs up button. Had a really great show. Thank you guys for tuning in. I got a ton of product coming, from new tackle boxes to new baits. We got the lunker stick lineup. We've got version 2 coming, plus the BFS line. Next month's box is going to be a banger. I really think that it's solid. Let me see if I've got the list of baits for you. I'll tell you a little bit about it. Ooh, we got a new popper. Wait a minute. What do we got? We got some stuff. We got something from Hendrix Fishing. We got a new bait from Monster Bass. We got a product testing crankbait. We got something from Yamamoto. We got some tungsten propeller heads from First Contact. We got some jigs from Dobbins. What else? Ooh. We got the Gilly Grub from Three Brothers. We got a bunch of baits coming up. For the guys with a multi-species box, I got some new stuff from Euro Tackle. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff coming up. I think the rest of the year you guys are going to really love it. So, listen, I appreciate all of you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It means a lot. And again, if you know someone out there that's struggling, don't be silent. Reach out to them, offer them the life preserver, and if they take it, great. And if they don't, at least you tried. So, all right, guys, love you guys so much, and I will see you guys next week. Good night.